And we're back. Good break.
As always.
Sponsors were heard from.
Sponsoring was had.
Sure.
Chuck got extra
sponsored
salty
hard.
over here.
About some glasses.
Glasses and reading internet comments.
Both those things.
That's because you always bitch about people like, well, I can't believe people say stuff like that. It's like they say stuff like that because you read stuff like that. That's what happens.
I
It
want
is
to be
a
part of
vicious
that
cycle.
conversation.
I don't want to be a part of that conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
God damn it.
On a level of 1 to 10, how heaped do you
Oh,
feel
man.
right now?
How heaped do I feel?
Do you feel like
Yeah.
you need to do some sleuthing?
Do you sleuth? Hashtag do you sleuth?
Do you even sleuth, bro?
Did you guys give an update on the did you guys give an update on the poll before we went to
No,
I
we're
was going to
gonna-
do it after, yeah.
Okay. So Zelda still significantly in the lead.
With 63 votes in? looks like.
Yes, with 63 votes in total, we've got 87% for Zelda Breath of the Wild, 3% for Resident Evil 7, 6% for Halo Wars, and finally, getting on the board, 3% for Horizon Zero Dawn.
So that's what, probably like one each for Resident Evil and
2
Horizon?
probably, because they were definitely at 2 before, Resident Evil and Halo Wars when they were tied.
Okay.
So essentially, while we were talking about Batman, Josh went in there, created a couple of Twitter accounts just so
It's
that
been that way for a while.
Just
thank
so
you very
Horizon
much,
will-
dick.
get some votes.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, we are being brought to you by Powerade, apparently.
I was just going to make that joke. I'm going to tell us something else. Yeah, whatever. They can sponsor us. That's cool.
God, that would
Send-
be awesome.
Send us some drinks and or cash.
Yeah, give me the money flavored Powerade.
Whatever. If they just send us a case of Powerade every week, I'd be pretty fucking happy about it.
Oh,
You know what, that would be
I would
pretty awesome.
proudly display those bottles. And not because clearly we're going to do it anyway. So what the fuck does it matter?
There you go.
Um,
You could also be sponsored by water in a
good,
glass. The way it was meant to be.
You're gonna be
a dangerous glass.
You're gonna be sponsored by fucking hospital here in a minute.
Let's talk about news.
So there is none. In fact, the reason that we did the poll this week is because we weren't going to be talking news at all. This is notoriously the slowest couple of weeks of the year. Nothing
Notorious.
really comes out in terms of the news because everybody's gone on break, including developers and journalists. So what we are instead going to do is our look forward to 2017. We're not going to do our predictions yet, but we are going to talk about just some of the games that have been announced with some release dates and some speculation just in general about what games we are looking forward to. Which is why we asked the question as to your most anticipated first quarter games. But just getting right into it, January is a little bit slow this year, actually. For as much as we talked about quarter one being a very fast and heavy year, or heavy time of the year, January not so much.
Yeah, and I mean it very much depends on what kind of games you're into. Like there's some obscure stuff.
Oh, there's some Japanese as fuck games that I'll
Yeah,
probably
like
give a shot
Kingdom Hearts
to.
2.8 comes out, some stuff like that. That I mean, we'll
God,
sell
will
to
Kingdom
the niche
Hearts
crowd.
go to fucking rest already.
No,
until 3
there's
comes out.
also a 1.5 plus 2.5
Coming later in the year.
coming in March for
That's the title?
PS4. Yes, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5.
Man.
You know,
Fuck you guys.
also known as Kingdom Hearts 4.
God.
No,
So
apparently not.
stupid.
If you math that, it's 4.
But yeah,
Um,
Resident Evil is probably the biggest one I think of.
Well, for fans of the series, Danganronpa has become very popular in the last couple of years. The Japanese RPG with Monokuma, that like
that's
murder
actually coming
bear.
to PS4, which is new.
Mhm.
It's been on Vita.
Yeah, that was announced at PlayStation Experience. And Gravity Rush 2, can't overlook that. Really, that was a very big like launch era Vita game.
Yeah,
That
Dragon
is
Quest
now,
8.
yeah, getting upgraded. I mean, Dragon Quest 8 is a port over to the 3DS. That is also on the same day though, January the 20th.
Was that
Gravity Rush
already on PS4? 8 was already on PS4.
8 has been around for quite some time. This might be an update, but I think this
Okay.
is more of like because they're like the MMO was Dragon Quest 11. Like it's that series has
Okay.
been going on for quite some time.
New Tales game.
Yes, there is Tales of Berseria.
Mhm.
But really, yeah, the month
Man,
of
people
January.
love those fucking games. Those Tales
Yep.
games.
Symphonia on the GameCube is the only one I've ever played, and it's fucking stellar. Like that game is awesome. I might give that one a shot because I'm kind of looking for another Atlas or level 5 style RPG. Yakuza 0 comes out as well on January 24th, which I
I
believe
don't think anyone
that
cares
is-
about Yakuza anymore, right?
It's, believe it or not, yeah, still popular. I think that's the remake of the original one too. But as you said, yeah, the biggest one is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, the first of our poll nominees, I guess you could say, on the 24th of January.
Yeah, and also, if I'm not mistaken, the first like full length game that is playable both in and out of VR for the PSVR, right?
Yeah, I believe that it is fully playable in PSVR as well. I don't know if there's also a third-person mode for outside of VR or not, or if it is just the entire game is first-person.
I mean, the entire game is first-person, but you can play it completely if you don't own a VR. Obviously, I mean, it's on the Xbox.
You guys still talking about Resident Evil, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can play the whole thing normally or in VR. Like, I mean, obviously there are games that have like VR modes. There are games that are fully VR, but they're kind of like smaller games. Even if they cost $60, like you Valkyrie, they're not like a full traditional $60 retail game,
Right.
The way that Resident Evil is going to be. So I think that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, in terms of the actual
if they see more VR headsets at that point,
the level
in
of
stores.
production and things like that. Yeah, I mean, we had talked about it toward the end of the year about Sony, or rather analysts lowering their expectation for sales by the end of the year for VR, but it turns out that was less about excitement for the product and more about just being hard to find. Apparently, like the headsets themselves are just impossible.
I didn't see a single headset in December,
which is very depressing. They need to capitalize on that while they can and make sure that developers are actually going to make games for it. So hopefully Resident Evil does take off. People, apparently, you've just got to give it a real long shot and just like kind of slowly build up a tolerance before you can truly enjoy that in full. But now would be the good time to do that with some of the other games. Get used to the motion on that. For Tray only, to be announced at some point in January, is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle.
I'm curious because it's like the first one to ever be on a console.
Yeah,
Like, there's been
like
several 3DS games. So yeah, I'm gonna play the shit out of this.
It's like you don't remember the Sega CD Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I mean,
game,
recently.
In which it was a full motion video game in which when you wanted to partake in the action, you just dodged in the direction that they had already recorded them dodging in.
Oh, I remember games like that.
It was the best.
Sewer Shark.
Sewer Shark is awesome. I love Sewer Shark.
Hey, that old fat guy, the Brooklyn guy, remember Sewer Shark?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, hey, you gotta get ready, sir.
Like the guy who was like giving you the orders?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like 9 or 6 9er.
Yeah, the like the old Brooklyn whatever. He's in a lot of stuff. He died this year.
Did he?
Yeah.
Of course.
Or last year.
Fucking 2016, man.
Last year.
Jesus. The Sewer Shark was awesome though. That game was so good. Moving on to February though, the day before my birthday, just so you guys know, is Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World on 3DS.
It's basically just Yoshi's Woolly World.
Who's
but on
Poochie?
3DS.
Poochie is Yoshi's dog-like companion.
I mean, they stole that from The Simpsons, and Simpsons had Poochie. He
Are
was
you
a dog?
You literally saying Simpsons did it?
Simpsons did it.
I don't know. Yoshi's Woolly World was apparently great for what it was. I don't know if it translates to 3DS so much, but sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be all right. Valentine's Day is pretty good. The big one there is definitely For Honor.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited for Sniper Elite 4, though, as well. Those games are crazy popular for their genre.
More popular than they ought to be considering their quality.
People really like... Those are the ones that go like into the Mortal Kombat X-ray moves, right?
The third one started that,
Like when you shoot someone in the balls, it like goes X-ray and shows their balls exploding?
It doesn't show that at all.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I mean, I've played that game. Granted, I don't know that I shot anyone specifically in the balls. But, yeah, so... You got For Honor, you've got Sniper Elite, and then kind of a little-known game, at least little-known, I think, to most people, is probably Deformers.
Yeah, I was actually trying to look up that earlier.
So it's Ready at Dawn. It's the guys who did...
Ready at Dawn? The amazing Order 1886?
86, and, what else did they do right before that?
They had done the PSP God of War games.
Gotcha. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. It's based on a movie a short movie that won like best short at the Oscars in like 1978, where these guys are like on this platform and they like the platform is like on this one central point, and so they basically have to like figure out how to like one walks to one side and it tilts, so they kind of all have to balance themselves out. And so the game is basically a bunch of these like round characters. There's like different animals and other different things, but they're all like round, and they all have different powers, and it's just a local like or online multiplayer game, like competitive game where it's like an arena style thing, and you're all on this big platform, and it like tilts all over the place, and you like try to knock everybody else off. It looks really fun.
What is like kind of like
it's
a
called
party
Deformers.
game? In a way,
almost like you could definitely play online, but it is.
Oh, this is like I keep seeing the trailer. It looks like fucking Crazy Rocket League.
Yeah, almost. It's like it's up to like 4-player local co-op though. It very much looks like it almost reminds me of like Nidhogg in terms of like just these fun little quick multiplayer matches.
Every time I go to non-disclosed
And it's like
video game,
It's going to be $20 or $30 download or disc.
It actually looks pretty cool. Like every
I
time
guess
look
full
at a trailer.
disclosure, it is the second game published by Game Trust, which is the game publisher that GameStop owns.
I don't know why we would have to fully disclose anything. That's you work for nondescript video game retailer.
That's fair, but just saying. And then the next week is Halo Wars 2. On the 21st. That's only a big thing there.
Ys Origin. Those Ys games, people love.
Yeah, again,
those.
that's the first one I've ever seen on console, so that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is really cool to.
That's only been
be
on
console
PSP
for
and
sure.
Vita before then.
Yeah, definitely looks kind of like a PSP or a Vita type game. If you look at the gameplay, it's kind of 2.5D, running around without the greatest graphical fidelity, but that is definitely cool. Halo Wars is definitely the one for the majority of audiences. I am not the biggest fan of the original. It controls really well for a console RTS, and it was super impressive.
I just haven't played an RTS in a long time, and I don't have a computer, so I'm really fucking excited to play another RTS.
That's definitely fair.
I mean, this is probably my buttery smooth intro right there.
Nailed it! Yeah, that was awesome.
Probably my most anticipated game of first quarter for sure.
That was like a rustling run-in. Rustling or wrestling, one of the words.
Either way, I mean, I feel like I've been heaped.
I don't even get that.
But you do.
But yeah, I'm excited because if you get and the pro tip, if you are doing any kind of Microsoft exclusive, the Play Anywhere deal, if you get it digitally on either platform, Windows PC or Xbox, you get the other code for free.
Right.
The biggest bummer about that, though, is that the PC and the Xbox One are not cross-compatible. Like, you can't play each other. So you can play PC people with your PC. You can play Xbox One people with your Xbox One. Can't go.
Not the other way around.
Yeah, now...
Or not crossover.
Yeah, no, you can do that with Gears. Like, I can play you on PC. Like, if you have a PC and I have a Xbox One, you can do that. But
yeah, I'm assuming some way the servers are set up or something. But
yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you should be. I'm also. We're gonna play the shit out of that. The 24th is Lego Worlds. I haven't really looked into that, but Lego games are always fun.
Yeah, I mean
that kind of reminds me of like Lego City Undercover, which, by the way, is my favorite Lego game of all time. So
still,
aren't they bringing that to other consoles?
Lego Worlds
or Lego City Undercover?
I haven't heard either. Lego Worlds is for PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah,
and PC.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they're gonna do anything with a Lego game, I still feel like Dimensions is the way to go for them right now. Like, they can put any property they kind of want into there. If they're going to get the license for a Lego game, why not also
I don't
know.
Yeah, I'm curious how World separates itself from Dimensions.
Holy crap. It's Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's Lego Minecraft.
That's what I remember hearing about that now that you mentioned that.
That's cool.
Yep.
There's
just
this
this giant statue of a Lego man made out of Legos with other Lego men falling out of him.
Yeah, considering like Minecraft is at this point where kids, I think, want something like Minecraft that's not Minecraft a lot of times, so that'll be a really good thing to do there.
I can see that.
And then a few days later
is one of my most anticipated games, and the second one to show from our poll is the PlayStation exclusive Horizon Zero Dawn from Guerrilla Games. Everything I've heard about this game has been pretty much spectacular in terms of the way that it plays, how it looks. It is the game that currently most makes me wish I had a 4K TV and a PS4 Pro, because apparently the HDR is awesome on it. I think that game has just looked awesome from like minute one. I love the idea of it, the like super future world that has gone back to primitive, and like yet there are still these remnants of a technological society and these crazy robot dinos that you can tame and ride or hunt with like the trap system. I can't fucking wait.
Time out. I knew I read that. It's coming to Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One and PC.
Cool.
Nice.
Lego City Undercover.
Everyone should buy that game.
That's the GTA clone one, right? Kind of more story driven, but still kind of
yeah. It's as close to a GTA game as Lego's ever gonna get.
That's fair. Moving on to March, because the rest of the stuff in February is not really anything we've ever talked about.
Yeah, no. Sorry.
I don't get to talk about Horizon.
Oh, sorry.
Shit.
Sorry, I forgot you hadn't talked about it because you talked about Lego. Go ahead.
I probably will wind up getting this game. It's not going to be on my anticipated. I'd rather, and what I said earlier off air was true. It's the the equivalent of Zelda, but it with grown up people and with robot dinosaurs. But everything else looks almost exactly the same.
Yeah, and
even kind of the environments.
I don't know how much like dungeon. I'm curious how much like actual dungeon crawling you might do in this. Like it seems a little more
I'm more-
action heavy than Zelda.
I'm curious about the story. Like they haven't
Yeah.
hit any story beats.
I'm also
besides,
very
like,
curious what the
fetching
story
stuff, and I don't want that to be the entire game, and I'm sure it won't.
No, yeah. I mean, they very, very subtly hinted in the trailer from PSX this past month at some more stuff of like getting to the bottom of exactly what's going on in that world. They like showed some crazy like futuristic underground bunker that you were running into. The like some of the cool things in that game though, like the way that it's like, yes, you said fetching or collecting and crafting is a big part of that game, but they've kind of got an innovative way that they're doing that in terms of like you can at any point in time choose to create a mission and you can choose what loot you want for that mission. So, like, if you want to start a mission and you need to go get these specific parts to make this weapon upgrade, rather than just kind of hoping you can luck it or go, like, fetch it from people out in the world, you actually can have a mission created specifically for it. So it kind of streamlines the crafting while still making it an important part of the game. And I love to hear stuff like that because I could get lost in this kind of game in general. At least having that there gives me, like, kind of a target to be able to go get these items rather than just, like, hopelessly wandering around the world as a lot of those games do.
It seems like a way to, like, kind of cheat the system though. Like,
I think
hey,
it
I need
streamlines
this.
it.
I mean, why don't they just have a system where it highlights the area where you need to go and get this kind of thing, or something along those lines? Creating your own quest. I'd be like, open this door, get all this loot.
Okay, maybe it's
quest done.
Maybe it's you can request a quest that gets you the item. Maybe not. Like I don't think it's going to be like you could just go pick up a blade of grass and all of a sudden you've got the most powerful component that you need in the game. But from what I've heard, the system actually works out really well. I need to get a little bit more into that when the game comes out, but I think it's a cool, different take on fetch quest and resource management in that kind of a game. But moving on to March. Nier Automata is kind of the first one I think that there's a large bit of hype for.
Well, there's that and one other game that
I know, but on my list here from what is showing first on the list is Nier Automata. It comes out the same day.
Which I am excited to check out.
Yeah, people have been waiting for Nier for a long time.
I really enjoyed that first game. It was a like super underground hit.
Yeah, I have not been super impressed with the gameplay that I have seen so far.
I haven't seen much, to be honest. But
but I'm probably going to give it a shot. That and what was the other one? Neo. Those two always get like crossed in my mind for some reason.
No, yeah, not for
which
me.
is the Square like God of War style like beat 'em up.
I don't remember that one,
Yeah.
but
it's probably going to come up later in the list.
Yeah, and then the same day on the 7th, Ghost Recon Wildlands comes out. I don't know what to think of that game, man.
The
last time we saw it looked kind of all right, but I don't really
was
know.
Completely unimpressed with the E3 demo this past year, but the first
that had a lot
showing
to do with how shitty the people who were
VO?
playing it was.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like obviously scripted.
Yeah, that was bad.
They always do that.
I thought-
Ubisoft. I mean,
I thought the game was hideous looking though.
Oh, I
like
didn't think
every
that at all.
screenshot
hideous
I've
is
seen,
a little strong.
No, every screenshot I've seen has been gorgeous. The trailer from 2 years ago was awesome, but I like legit hated the way that game looked at E3 this year. I thought
mean,
it looked like low res like garbage, and that really surprises me because Ubisoft normally shows like incredibly beautiful games up
yeah,
front.
and it definitely didn't look like. I mean, it like the best looking game ever, but
I mean, could they actually
some
do
strong
something like,
language.
yeah, hideous and garbage is way over the top. But can they maybe instead of over promising and under delivering, vice versa that?
Yeah,
and
it'd be nice to under promise and over deliver.
Yes, from Ubisoft for fucking once.
I mean,
I
I
will
would
totally
go
check
ahead
this
and
game
tell you
out,
right
but-
now, like they actually delivered exactly on what they have shown from Watch Dogs 2 for like the entirety of that game. Like that game had no over-promising whatsoever. That game showed exactly what it was going to look like, and I think that's what they need to do. I personally, I'm not exaggerating. I legit, like, from the moment that trailer started, did not like the way that game looked at all.
I mean, I don't think you're exaggerating on that part. I just like hideous just seems like a strong word. But anyway,
I'm
think,
excited for that game.
Yeah.
I know Evan's going to pick it up too, so we'll probably.
I mean, I'm going to play it. Hopefully, like if the reviews are halfway decent, because I really want to like that game. I thought the concept of it in general is awesome. Hearing that it's the largest world that they've ever created in a game is great because like Ubisoft does open world really really well.
Yeah,
I just
maybe a little too the same sometimes, but
yes.
definitely well.
I'm hoping to be really pleasantly surprised by that game. Like, and
I'm excited
again,
for March 14th.
It's 50-50 for me.
That's what I'm excited for.
For Star Trek Bridge Crew?
Goddamn right.
Yeah, you are.
I'm gonna ask Evan if I can borrow his PlayStation VR.
I'm gonna ask Evan if I can buy his PlayStation VR at this point.
He might let you.
I think that looks awesome. I get that the graphics are hideous on it.
Garbage, I've heard.
Yeah, they are, but I don't give a shit. I could be on a fucking Star Trek bridge. Like, I am super excited for that.
Yeah, it looks like a fun. I know Evan and Chuck both.
Yeah,
not fans, but I'm excited to check it out. I mean, I don't know that I would like. I mean, obviously, it's not like something I'd buy a VR for, kind of thing. But it would be really fun to check that out and play it. So maybe Evan will hook us up.
Yeah, eventually I want to get one of PlayStation VR anyway, but that's probably a long ways away. With also the hardware that is rumored, by the way, to come out in March still, or is coming out in March, which is the Nintendo Switch.
Sure.
Which is where all of my money will go. We also should say that Nintendo does have their kind of big reveal before the Switch just is coming up this the 12th of January.
That evening for us.
Yeah, like 8 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah, it's
really
in
weird.
Tokyo, so I think it's like
fine by
11
me.
p.m. or something here. Either way, it's late. So yeah, get ready if you want to pre-order a Switch. Most retailers will probably have them on the 13th.
God, I am so excited.
For however much, but
Also, yeah, and whatever the minimum for the system, and then like depending on the games, I'll let you know.
that's fine.
Mario for sure. Either way, that's kind of. I mean, looking at the rest of March, it's a little bit quiet. Aside from old time hockey, whatever that is.
Yeah, there's. I mean, there's
sequel
not a whole
to
lot.
Old Time Religion.
There's some other Kingdom Hearts bullshit
And
coming
old time
out.
rock and roll.
A new Attack on Titan game, just some random stuff. But
If any Attack on Titan game had ever been good, I'd be.
Wait, MLB The
excited.
Show's coming out in March.
Is it? Where's that listed?
March 28th. I'm looking right at it.
no, it's not on this list.
Wikipedia's failed me.
I'm looking on Game Informer's.
Yeah, it's got King Griffey Jr.'s coming back this year.
Yeah, he is.
What?
He's on the fucking cover.
Of the show?
Yeah.
And there's like a retro version of that game.
Oh,
I asked
that's
if we
kinda
wanted to
cool.
talk about it when we did the recap of.
I tried to play that game last
and everybody
year.
said no.
It was.
I haven't been a fan of it for the past couple of years. I think they need.
It's difficult.
It is. It is very, very, very involving, and that sometimes that's just not what you want. But if they have a retro mode, like they put a home run derby featuring Ken Griffey Jr. And
That's kind of what it is. Yeah.
That's all. That's awesome. That would give it a shot in the arm it needs for sure.
Yeah, it kind of would be the replacement to RBI Baseball when they tried to come out with that RBI Baseball. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. I haven't played a baseball game in like 20 years. I probably never will again, but definitely cool for the fans. They put a lot of work into those games for sure. Moving on to April. On April 4th, there's two pretty big games. One a little bit less so, but Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Apparently,
again.
sniper games are on the up and up. Like, people
Well,
like
those-
them.
Yeah, those two are definitely always popular,
Yep.
especially these parts.
But the big one that people are really excited about is Persona 5.
Fuck yeah.
Some people.
I am.
Shit.
I'm
I would
very
love
excited.
to try a Persona
Like a
game.
big
I
old
might give
steaming
this one a
heat
shot.
shit.
I mean, it's Japanese as shit, but
I-
it's one of the few Japanese games like that I really enjoy.
I fear getting just dragged into something like that for
Well,
like
get
300
ready.
hours. Like, I can't do it. But it is exciting. A little sad news actually came out today that game is not getting ported to either PC or Switch anytime soon. They said couple stories.
It's
actually
taking them
like that
forever
came
to
out
get it
today.
onto PS3, PS4. So
Yeah, Andromeda's not coming to Switch right now either, but they aren't closing the door on it. That kind of thing. But
sure.
we'll see. We'll
I
see
want
what
that
they
fucking
announce
game.
next week. Bulletstorm.
Yeah. Moving on.
Exactly. But April 11th,
I might
one
get
of
that.
Bulletstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you like it?
I did not enjoy
Man,
that game.
I did not either. I only played the demo a couple of times, and it was super repetitive from there. And from what everybody told me, it was the exact same thing the entire game long. But if you pre-order it this time, you do get Duke Nukem,
Well, that's cool.
so you can hear Duke say all the cool catchphrases.
Sure.
However, April 11th, I can't fucking wait for Ukulele.
Get ready for that to get pushed back.
You think?
It's a Kickstarter game. Yeah, I do think.
I mean, it already.
mean,
got
I hope
pushed
it
back
doesn't,
from
but-
last year. I think this is the solid date.
Maybe
They only announced the
I
date.
forgot
just
it got
within the
pushed
last,
back already.
couple of weeks too. This game looks awesome for anybody who likes classic like N64 mascot platformers.
My kids can play the shit out of this.
Dude, I can't wait. Also, it is apparently very much kind of like Conquer. It is dirty humor, but
Oh, maybe he's not.
one of the characters' names.
Oh, like you care.
One of the characters.
I have a line
is named Trouser Snake.
somewhere. Is his name Trouser Snake? Jesus
It's a
Christ.
snake wearing a pair of pants. But he slides
if
in
it's
one
that
leg.
kind of humor, that's
so
fine.
He slides in one leg and then he comes out the other leg, and that's how he wears the pants.
Jesus Christ. Cool.
I think it's great.
Man, there's nothing else in April or May.
Dragon Quest Heroes 2, apparently every
Eh.
Dragon Quest game.
What side are you guys on?
Wikipedia. There's really not. Yeah, there's not much really out in May either. This is where we're getting into the like
Everything
games
else
that don't
is
really have a
unscheduled.
schedule. Apparently, they say Shenmue 3 is still supposed to come out this year, despite the fact that we have heard nothing about it for the last 2 years after they announced it. But really getting into like kind of the
Sometime
no
this year,
release date category. Yeah.
hopefully.
Ace Combat. Does anybody care about
Nope.
flying planes and
No one.
pretty
Um,
graphics? No.
no. Agents of Mayhem though.
Yeah, that's the
It's Volition, the
Volition,
guys who
that's it,
do
yeah.
who have done Saints Row. I didn't love 4, but 3 is still like maybe like a top 20 game of all time for me. I fucking
Wow.
love Saints Row 3 so much. It's like the perfect blend of like action and humor, and yeah, that game is just a shit ton of fun. But yeah, Agents of Mayhem looks like a pretty cool take on that. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not Saints Row, but it's clearly set in that universe still.
Yeah, it had a trailer that people really liked. I personally did not, but I mean the style is cool. I don't know what.
I mean,
that
I
game
still
is
want to
gonna
see
be.
more from it, but yeah, I assume maybe E3 we see some more from that, and it's probably out in the fall.
If it's co-op, I'm
See,
sure.
that feels like an October game to me, maybe a September game.
September probably would be my bet on that, but that seems like one. Chuck, you showed interest in that as well, right?
I did.
Okay.
That's enough. I mean, you guys said pretty much everything. The
Fair
trailer was good the first time I saw it, but then they just trailer.
Yeah.
They showed it a shit ton.
It
And
was
it
like
wasn't the original, like, funnier one either. It was just like
Yeah.
the kind of.
It was in a stream or something I watched for a while for E3 or something. PlayStation.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just like kind of drove into the ground a little bit, but
For me, the actually this is one that I've kind of kept an eye out on for a while is Conan Exiles, which comes out at
Yeah.
some point this year as well. Like I know that Conan games usually suck a big fat dick, but
Did you
this
play
one,
the last one? It
No.
was hilarious.
I never played any.
Oh
of
my god, you need to play at least like an hour of it because anytime
that's
that
always
you,
a
like,
good thing.
like there'll be like these women who are like kind of tied up, and if you defeat these people, you go up to these girls, and in their appreciation,
I'm
they
sure.
totally take their tops off and like start rubbing their tits all over you.
Game of the year,
Jesus.
whatever
It's
year that was.
hilarious.
This one though, it's like first person. While it worries me a little bit because it looks a little bit like Skyrim, this is totally like a brutal first person, like crazy action game. Even going so far as to have like giant mythological creatures that you are fighting. Like it actually looks kind of badass. There's been a couple of videos that have come out pretty recently. Right now, this is saying Windows and Xbox One. I thought it was also coming to PS4, but I actually think it looks pretty damn cool. It's not the most beautiful game in the world because it's definitely a lower tier developer making it, but it's definitely one to kind of keep an eye on for sure.
Crackdown, sometime maybe this year
Maybe.
we'll hear about possibly.
Josh, I hate to say it, man, this game was like hot garbage.
Like I said, I mean, it's not the prettiest game in the world. I just think the gameplay that I have seen, it looks pretty cool.
This is like a worse version of Far Cry Primal.
That's possible.
Barely.
Yeah, you guys are excited about Crackdown.
I'm really excited about Crackdown, not only because I like Crackdown, but also the we're finally going to get to see the Microsoft streaming servers like in action for the first time, which will be very exciting.
I'm curious about that. I've never played a Crackdown game, so I'm curious to see what
You
that's
didn't play
about.
the first one?
Nope. Or the
Oh.
second one.
Man, that's awesome. Second one was underwhelming at best, but that's only because, like, if it existed on its own thing, people probably would have dug it okay. People hated it, though, because they loved the first one.
Gotcha.
The first one was a surprise. Definitely one of those games where people bought just to get the demo of Halo 3 at that point in time. I liked it quite a bit. Didn't love it. It is kind of in the vein of like I kind of lump it in the same group as Infamous and Prototype in a way, but cel shaded and kind of a heavier focus on guns. But definitely like the
Gotcha.
superhero genre without being a superhero in a way.
Sure.
One of the coolest things was just depending on your character level, your cars would transform whenever you actually got in them to have like different abilities, different like level system, which is cool. And then getting like those agility orbs, and then tracking down 900,000 orbs in that game. Like you had the way you got experience for all of your powers were.
I've
different
heard orbs
hidden
are a
throughout the
thing.
world. Holy shit. Yeah, I also really did not like the second one. Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy at some point this year.
Yeah.
Really? I never liked or played those games that much, so I'm willing to give it a shot. But
I love those games when they came out, but I just if they have this fucking thing, they ought to be doing like a new Crash Bandicoot game, not a.
Well, this is, I think,
remake
the
of-
testing of the waters. I think this and Patapon and Parappa, like all of these announcements of like remasters of classic games on like an anniversary
Are like testing
style.
for the like all these things that people have been begging for new games for forever.
I mean, but to see
Like people have been begging
to
for a
see
new
if the-
Patapon and for a new Parappa the Rapper and a new Crash
but you
for
see,
forever.
You see people saying it, but you don't see it in like any sort of market research. I totally understand why they would
But-
come to that kind of a conclusion.
Yeah, but
to
then
wanna
when
do stuff
the
like
sales
that.
fall flat on these games because people have already played them and that they don't want to spend money for this when what they wanted was a new game, then like it's going to be a bad testing of the waters.
But I think if you look at something like Ratchet last year, which did sell pretty damn well,
But that was a new
and
game.
It wasn't though. It was a remaster of the original one. It was like the
That was
original
a brand new, 100%
I mean,
new R&D is what that was. They built an engine from the ground up. They might
built,
have
they built an engine.
That's
from
a
the
new
ground up,
game.
but-
The story was different.
They
The-
did not remaster the old game.
Correct.
That was a new game. And I get that I've never played the first one, so I don't know how closely it came to the.
like significantly. Like I
It's
was
so very
using,
similar.
I was using the like to get some of the last trophies. I was using the original game's guide,
But it's still a.
and that's what this is. This is
No,
this.
this
oh
is-
no!
that
If
is-
you
no,
look
it's
at
not.
no,
They
you look at that
up-resed it.
original. No, they did not. It is that is a built from the ground up, and they announced it as that as well.
They also, I don't think so. They wouldn't have called it
They
a
are-
trilogy. If,
They are very much not positioning this in the same way that they positioned Crash,
I disagree.
or not Crash. Positioned Ratchet and Clank.
I disagree. This is like legitimately a new engine from the ground up type game.
I mean, that's just a fact. Like they are advertising the Crash as a remaster, and they did not. Ratchet and
Oh,
Clank was
see-
advertised as a new game.
I had never thought of it as anything other than a
I
remake,
mean,
and like
regardless
that
of
was
what
from
you
their
thought-
advertisement.
Okay,
Anyway, moving on. Cuphead. That game's not coming out.
yeah, it is, and it's gonna be cool when it does. Detroit.
I don't know if that game, like, they say that it potentially is coming out this year. Apparently, like, Sony had released a video of upcoming 2017 games just within the last couple of days, and Detroit, as well as that game Dreams, were both on there. But then
I
Shuhei
think Detroit will
Yoshida,
be.
yeah, he came out and
Man, Detroit ain't
specifically-
coming out this year. You're
he-
crazy.
He specifically said their inclusion was an accident in that video.
Detroit may never come out. I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be one of
Those
those
guys
Milo
aren't that bad
things.
about putting out games.
No, it takes them a long
just-
time.
It's also incredibly ambitious, and they're pushing like all the specs of the PS4,
I mean, but-
even the Pro.
They did that with Beyond too. I feel like.
No, yeah, the game will. I think the game will 100% come out, but I don't think it's going to be like anytime super soon.
I'd be willing to put a little wager on that.
I would be super happy if it came out this year, but I would see it and Dreams. I don't think may ever come
don't know
out,
what
but
Dreams is, but
that's the Media Molecule, like create your own world,
I
give
don't-
AI like
that never works out well when anyone
mean,
does it.
I don't know. They did pretty damn well with Sackboy. What are those games? Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet, and that's not create your own.
Also,
world.
number Little Big Planet 3 like bombed pretty hard.
It
It
did.
did.
It wasn't Media
What was
Molecule. I
the-
don't think Dreams is going to do well if it does
What
come
was
out.
that
but-
racing game that came out?
Mod
with
Nation Racers. I was just
Yeah.
about to say that is the closest anyone's ever come. God damn it! I love Mod Nation Racers.
I
Me and-
I can
me and
get
Benny.
into it.
Sit there inside of the Bradley Square Mall GameStop
And made a bunch of levels.
all day. It was great.
Well, it's a wonder that store never did very well.
Yeah, those were the days. I also beat Split Second and Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions in that store.
Nice. Oh, Shadow Dimension. That's a good game.
It was a fantastic game.
Next game, Drawn to Death is supposed to come out this year. That looks kind of cool.
It's
I
a
don't know.
Twisted Metal dude, right?
Yeah.
Man, Earth Defense Force is getting another game.
Dude,
The
all
fifth
the
one.
time. 4.1 just came out a little bit ago.
That
Anyway,
game. Have you ever seen it or played it, Josh?
yeah.
It's those insect invasion games.
Mhm. They're always like buggy and
Basically,
broken, but they're super
It's
popular.
basically
for some
like
weird-ass
Starship
reason.
Troopers, the video game every
Yeah.
time.
Now, for me, the next one on this list that really says anything is Full Throttle remastered.
Yeah, Full Throttle.
Farpoint looks cool if you have a PlayStation VR. That's probably a thing you should buy.
I must have skipped over that. I didn't show it.
It's
yeah,
a-
there it is.
It's a FPS.
Yeah, actually, I do think that game looks pretty cool. But yeah, again, need to have
It's the first
a
one
VR.
that is launching alongside that gun peripheral they have coming out for the VR. So
Of course there is.
because peripherals.
Yeah.
Oh, and Gran Turismo Sport too.
Yes, Gran Turismo Sport, which doesn't have VR support apparently.
I
I
No,
don't believe
I
it
don't think so.
does.
I'm gonna go to Full Throttle.
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah, I
again.
know you're a
I
big
love
adventure game
the point and click stuff to begin with, but when it comes to like the Double Fine Tim Schafer kind of stuff. This was kind of the last one that he did before getting into the console stuff with Psychonauts and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you ever play this?
I did not. I'm so
Man,
behind
it's-
on so many of these. Like I'm gonna take advantage of Day of the Tentacle on.
Yeah, you should. While
PS
it's
Plus
free.
this
I
week-
mean,
this
for
month.
God's sake, that's a great deal, and it's super fun and very clever. But so is this one. You're essentially a motorcycle guy who is getting revenge on a very obviously voiceovered Mark Hamill bad guy.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun. There's some good set pieces to it, some good puzzling.
Cool. Yeah, Gran Turismo I don't need to talk about, but actually I think Gollum looks really cool.
Yeah, you've brought this up before.
That's the PlayStation VR one where you're like a little girl and you're controlling a giant golem basically. I'm not sure if it's like a dream sequence type game. It just kind of looks unique in general in terms of its style, in terms of the type of the game that it is for PlayStation VR more than an experience. It actually does look like a game. Something to keep an eye on. Guardians is coming out. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm really looking
Telltale.
forward to that. We talked about Borderlands earlier while you stepped away, and this feels like it could be that type of humor again, which is always really good. They proved that they can do humor, so
Yeah, I legitimately hope that they kind of knock it out of the park for sure on that. Hellblade though, I can't fucking wait for Hellblade. This is the one from what is it? A Ninja Theory.
Yep.
And it's the one that's
It's gonna be awesome.
It's the one that's tackling like schizophrenia, basically, but it's also like the same guys who create like super over the top crazy action games. They've done like Ninja Gaiden games. They've had people who worked on Devil May Cry. Why can't I remember the name of that PS3 launch game?
Huh?
talking about Heavenly Sword.
Thank
Oh,
you. Yeah, it was also them.
Enslaved. They did.
Yes.
They also completely redid the combat for Disney Infinity 3.0.
And then that game shut down, so there's that.
Well, but I mean, I
I
don't
know.
think that had anything to do with
It
that.
does
That was the
not.
best-selling Toys to Life game of that year. Just Disney
Changing things
wants
up.
their goddamn money, and they didn't
Turns
get
out.
enough.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that, and like I've watched a more recent video on that. Like every time I see something more, I can't wait. One of my absolute most anticipated games the next year is Injustice 2.
That game was cool. I wished I liked fighting games more because that game was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love specifically NetherRealm fighting games, and I love DC Comics, so I hope they just have a massive roster in that
The
game.
like
The armor
gear
stuff.
system in that is cool as shit, man.
Oh yeah, where you can upgrade all your stuff.
And that like Red Lantern dude with the cat, and you get to upgrade the cat's gear. It's cool as shit.
Oh,
Atrocitus?
Atrocitus, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could actually upgrade the cat as well.
it's great.
Well, there you go.
They showed that like extensively when I was out in LA, and it was cool as fuck. It's like one of the coolest things I saw.
Yeah. Lady Layton?
I want to know what
Oh,
Knights and
is that what I
Bikes
think it
are.
is?
Professor Layton.
Fuck yeah! I didn't know that was a thing at all.
Also, Evan now has to
And it's
buy
coming
this
to
for his
iOS.
daughter. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna play the shit out of that game.
You
I want to know, but what Knights and Bikes are.
You know
Knights
what?
and
You're
Bikes.
fair. We
Knights
should go to
are
Knights.
a medieval.
Oh shit! It's a Double Fine joint.
Is it really?
I'm in.
Yeah, if it's a Double Fine joint, and it's on PS4.
Well, let's look this up real quick.
we're gonna do that.
You guys
Knights
keep
and
talking.
Bikes.
I'll
All right, fine.
Hey, there's Lego City Undercover.
Yeah, there it is. Let's see here.
Lords of the Fallen 2's a thing that.
no,
shouldn't
that's
happen.
not happening. That's a bullshit
people
lie.
love that game.
Do they?
It's
Yes.
Dark Souls, dude. People love Dark Souls. I just didn't think
Whatever.
anybody bought. It was like $20 the week after it came out.
Talk about a game.
Okay,
I don't
so-
know if it'll come out next year. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Well, let's first go back to Matterfall because everything that Housemarque does is fucking perfect. And
All right,
I
so
don't know either of those names.
this is a Kickstarter that is fully funded. Listen to this is Knights and Bike. Listen to the synopsis. A co-op adventure about childhood inspired by the Goonies and Earthbound from the developers of Tearaway, Little Big Planet, Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
Yeah, everything about that.
I'm totally in. The symbol is awesome. It looks like a bike.
I
But
see it,
it's
but
a sword. It's badass.
That's cool as shit.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
those
that game.
guys. Those guys make some pretty fucking cool games. Matterfall. That's from Housemarque. It's the guys who did Resogun. And
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll play the
Alienation,
shit out of that
Detonation. Yeah, that's the one they announced like 2 or 3 years ago with that crazy cool CG trailer, and then they have not shown anything for it yet. But apparently, it's supposed to come out this year. Mario Sports
Matterfall.
Superstars, man. for 3DS. No, okay, fine. Marvel vs. Capcom. I wouldn't be surprised for it to come out this year.
I mean, it'd be cool if it did. Those games are popular. Again, fighting games, so not for me, but the art on that looks cool. I think it's interesting they're doing it around
Infinity
specifically
Stones
around the
and
Infinity Stones. And
Kicking X-Men the fuck out.
that means that at some point you get to play as Thanos, I hope, and that sounds kind of cool.
Or you get to fight Thanos.
Either
I
way,
mean, you've been able to play as Thanos before.
oh, have you?
Mhm.
Okay.
In like MVC 1 and 2. I don't know.
I
if
mean,
it was in
there was a Gauntlet, Infinity Gauntlet saga with him.
Oh well, shows how much I know about
Because
those.
he could use the like the ground could reach up and grab you and he'd punch you and shit. And
That's cool.
God, what was that one? I'll look at it.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Fuck yeah, my most anticipated game of the year.
It's very, very high up there for me. Cannot wait. Hopefully it comes out in the March 21st timeframe that they were originally saying, but I feel like we need to find out like very soon if that is the case. Apparently there's more gameplay coming tomorrow, by the way.
They have said spring, which means not March. March is not spring.
Again, the only piece of evidence that we have other than that, and March is technically the beginning of the spring season
When people
for
say
gaming.
spring, though, they mean Q2.
Again,
That is how video games work.
I'm simply saying the only thing that we've seen is like that official art book that said it was launching alongside, like simultaneously with the game, and its release date is the 21st of March.
Gotcha.
It was just called Marvel Superheroes. It was a fighting game just about Marvel characters.
Oh well, that sounds awesome.
Pre-Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, it was
Because
like
you could
right
use
when
Doctor
Capcom-
Doom and Venom and all those guys. It was badass. I remember that game. It was great.
Silver Samurai, probably.
He was in there.
Of course he was. Anybody excited for Metal Gear Survive?
Nope, literally no one. Nidhogg 2, however.
Yeah, Nidhogg 2.
Um,
Next Machina, also Housemarque, by the way. That's the game that they showed at PlayStation Experience.
that also looked cool.
Yes.
I like that name a lot too.
Next Machina?
Yeah.
But yeah, Nidhogg, the first one was really cool. This one adds a lot of like new gameplay elements from what I understand in terms of like new weapons and shit like that. It also like it's upgraded to like a 16-bit era game instead.
Right.
Doesn't look like it's on console yet though.
No, that'll probably be exactly like it was before, in which it's like a later port
Probably.
to PlayStation and Xbox at some point.
Hold your horses, Trey. Those beautiful, beautiful horses.
Oh, if
Premium
only.
horses, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, premium horses.
Fuck every other game that comes out almost this year. Ni no Kuni 2.
I mean, I'm not on that level, but I am excited to play that
God
game.
damn it, I can't wait. I am so excited.
So you just said fuck Zelda, fuck Mass Effect.
Horizon, all of it. Okay, I am obviously very excited for those games, but God, I cannot wait for Ni no Kuni 2.
So if you
You're
could only pick one game this
crazy
year, it would be
person.
Ni no Kuni 2.
It's right up there. It would be very hard between that and
That's
Zelda.
not what I asked you, though.
It's right on the borderline between that and Zelda, and then right below that would be Horizon. I honestly don't know what I would pick between the two of those games. That's how much I loved the first one.
I wonder what Overkill's The Walking Dead is.
I don't know.
Probably nothing good. What's it?
Probably not. Unless it says Telltale's The Walking Dead, I usually don't like it.
Survival, shooter, horror on consoles. This is probably just as bad as the Activision one. Also, Outlast 2.
Survival Instinct.
Yes.
Oh,
Outlast 2.
that game sucked. Not
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
But Outlast 1 was terrifying.
This one looks worse because it's much more open. You're in like a farm field kind of thing.
Yes.
You can hide underwater.
That's got to be VR compatible, right?
I would assume, but I don't think they've actually said. It's also Xbox One, so if it would be a PlayStation exclusive feature.
Well, sure. I mean, but so is Resident Evil's the same way.
Yeah. Parappa the Rapper remastered. I'm super excited.
I'll check it out.
I love those games.
I never played it.
I still don't understand the timing in that game. I played the
It's weird.
demo of it, and I still suck at that game 20 years later.
Man.
I need to check that out then.
Phantom
Yes.
Dust is still listed to come
It's
out.
never coming out.
I
Never
wouldn't
coming
be
out.
Surprised if it didn't.
Prey looks pretty cool.
They say
Prey is going to be
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, Prey does look
I'm
pretty
really
fucking awesome.
excited for that.
Project Sonic? Is that Sonic the Hedgehog?
Well, Sonic Mania is the new Sonic game that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be.
Pyre looks cool as shit.
It does. Looks it's an indie game.
Yeah, that's the guys who did Transistor, whose name I can't remember all of a sudden.
Supergiant.
Thank you very much. And what did they do?
Bastion.
Yeah. That looks cool. It's like this like sports game almost with like some crazy RPG elements into it.
Yeah, it looks art style looks very much again like Bastion. I think.
Yeah, the style is gorgeous for sure.
They always do visuals just incredible. They do games very well.
Yeah. And a little game some people are kind of looking forward to called Punch Club 2.
And or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2. That game is apparently actually coming out this year.
My second most anticipated game of the year, outside of Mass Effect.
I'm excited to give it a shot. They won me over with GTA 5, so I'm definitely hoping that I can get in on that and actually enjoy the multiplayer this time as well. Rhyme bullshit. Rhyme's never coming out.
They just
Scalebound also never coming out.
Yeah.
Rom just had a news story on that it's not exclusive to PS4 anymore.
Yeah, they Sony dropped the exclusivity for that a couple months ago. That game is in trouble apparently, but it's cool that they're still trying because I thought that game looked awesome. Scalebound, I am not super excited for. The gameplay of that game has not gotten me excited. However, Sea of Thieves, I can't fucking wait for. You're talking about an exclusive for Xbox that I can't wait for.
Talk about a thing I feel like is going to die on the vine hard.
Oh, I can't wait.
Sea of Thieves.
I'm looking forward to getting it, and
I'll check it out.
hopefully
but
it'll have that play anywhere kind of deal to it as well.
That'd be
since it's
cool.
on Windows.
Yeah. I don't know what Snake Pass is, but I kind of like the name.
it's fair. It's a platformer.
Well, there you go.
I'm excited for Sonic Mania.
Are you?
I
That's
am.
the one that's like not
It's-
remixed.
It's a total retro version of Sonic. Like there's little spinball parts to it.
That's cool.
The circles and rings and all that kind of stuff.
I
It's
like old
the
Sonic.
2D.
If they can do what they did, like had done with Rayman in the past, in terms of like kind of
Yeah,
reinventing
somebody needs to get a hold of Sonic like that and
Yes.
do that kind of a crazy redo, like not
that.
just
When are we
retro
gonna
style,
get a new
but
Rayman game.
God, who only knows?
Bullshit.
South Park.
Yeah, we all
Fractured
know.
but whole.
God, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't.
gonna be fucking awesome.
I can't fucking wait.
I wish they'd go ahead and give me my fucking stick of truth code though, so I can go
Or
ahead and play
Yeah.
it.
you could start playing it if you had pre-ordered it, but then when it gets canceled or gets pushed back, they'll cancel your pre-order and take away your access to the game.
I was on PS4. They just didn't allow me to do that on Xbox One at all.
God, it pissed me off. State of Decay 2.
I mean, we don't care, but someone out there does.
People really like that first game. You hated it.
It was fucking awful.
What else? Is there really anything else super big? Oh, Tekken 7.
Tacoma.
Yeah,
Oh, Tacoma, right above it,
Tacoma.
yes. If that game comes out this year, that looks awesome. That's the guys who did Gone Home. And we apparently really like walking simulators here in general, so
I
Yeah.
do.
I
Sure.
definitely think it could be really cool. Tekken 7 people really like. I don't care for that particular brand of fighting game. Oh, yeah.
Legend of Zelda. Breath
Zelda.
of the Wild.
Yes, Zelda. God, I can't fucking wait for that game. I keep watching the same gameplay trailer over and over again. I can't wait for just next week to see more.
Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man.
What's happening with that?
They're getting back in the groove.
Apparently.
Suppose you didn't know.
I think it might be a remix of the original game. I can't remember. I do remember hearing something about it pretty recently, but I don't remember exactly what that game is. Uncharted, the DLC,
The Lost
or the
Legacy
standalone,
DLC.
yeah, Lost Legacy DLC, I think looks great. Hopefully it is as impactful and good as the Last of Us DLC was, because that's the only thing they've ever done previously, and it was spectacular. So, Destiny, you think Destiny 2 gets released?
So I mean, some sort of Destiny thing will come out, whether it's another expansion or it's a full-on sequel. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I imagine something Destiny will show up this year.
That's true.
Just like I'm assuming at some point we'll get details on whatever Assassin's Creed will come out this fall.
Yeah, and Battlefront,
Um,
they're saying there's apparently a sequel potentially out this year.
I think this is the year we get another Need for Speed. We took a year off from that.
Ugh, we don't need it.
No,
the
we
last
don't.
Need for
but-
Speed was awesome though.
Yeah, the one that was just called Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't play it, but I've never. You're the first person I've ever heard say a good thing about
I
it.
liked it because that was one of those launch titles on PS4, right?
No, that one was like, it was like,
That was Rivals.
Oh, never mind. Yeah,
Rivals
Rivals,
was-
I love.
Rivals was fun.
yeah, the one that was just Need for Speed got
No,
panned.
I didn't like that one. I didn't play that one actually.
Voodoo Vince, I forget, is getting remastered. It's like our original OG Xbox game.
I loved that game originally.
People do love it.
What Remains of Edith Finch?
God, yes. I can't fucking wait for that game.
That is a walking sim, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Giant Sparrow. That's like the family. They like every one of their like family members has died in some mysterious way, and each room is telling a story of like how that family member died, so to speak.
Gotcha.
It looks super cool. That's Giant Sparrow who did Unfinished Swan, who's like one of my favorite games. And that's kind of really
I mean, that's a pretty good list of games, man.
What was the name of that game that had the crazy amounts of zombies and shit that used to have a stupid ass name, but it's got a different name now that I forget? Ride or Die or Ride to Hell or Hell Ride or stupid ass Ride.
Fuck, now I can't
Days
remember.
Gone?
Yeah, Days Gone.
That's not a next year. That's not a 2017.
That's
game.
that strikes me as a spring 2018 game.
If not 2019. Like that game is potentially
I think it's
far away.
2018.
I'd like for it to come out this year, but yeah, it's probably not.
That feels like they
Dude,
need to put
back
that
in
in 2018 so they can put Last of Us 2
Also,
out
it's
in
Dead
2019.
Don't Ride, by the way.
Oh God, that's what it was.
Whatever it is.
Stupid ass Ride.
I will
title.
tell you right now, I don't give a shit what that game is about. If it was called that, I would not buy it on fucking principle.
Dude, this Toe Jam and Earl game was awesome. I'm on there.
Is it like a retro thing or?
It's incredibly retro.
Yeah, it's like a comic book, but it's just like the old school kind of.
That's cool.
It's got some
Badass.
funky ass Funkatron music.
Yeah, it
Have
is.
they
and
met-
they like it.
What are the stretch goals they
All
hit?
right.
They hit 500K.
You know, they did not hit enough to get to PlayStation 4 yet. They need another 100,000 after that to get to Xbox One, and then basically
800,000 for a Wii U port.
which will become a Switch port
Probably.
if they do it. But I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for us this week.
Yeah.
Again, no
It's a good little
news,
show.
just kind of a look. Definitely lots of games we had talked about as our most anticipated, but again, probably Ni no Kuni or Zelda for me.
Yeah, it's
obviously
Mass Effect
for
and then
you.
Red Dead for me.
Yeah, and Chuck, I think you had mentioned what Red Dead is yours.
I'm totally involved in this Toe Jam.
All right.
Now it's Toe Jam and Earl. This is most anticipated.
It might be. No, it's probably Red Dead and Mass Effect, like really, really close to each other.
Cool. Yeah, all those games look awesome. So make sure to keep tuning in every single week.
Yeah, in 2 weeks so we should have some. I think we'll be talking about some games we probably, since there's still nothing
Finished up
out.
at
Yeah,
least.
some stuff we wrapped up from last year. I'd
and
imagine will be talked about.
we may have a fourth person on at that point in time.
For next week, I'm not sure. For next
next
week,
game
yeah.
show.
For next game show, I don't know. For next week for movies and TV, we do have a guest appearance.
Yeah,
We'll leave it as a
And I know-
surprise.
I know Evan had talked about potentially coming back toward the end of January. I still don't know how that works out.
Yep. I don't think that's gonna fucking happen.
You don't think
but
so?
We'll see.
If that's the case, then
He certainly knows more than I do. But
yes. If that's the case that he does it, then maybe in 2 weeks we would be doing our 2017 predictions, and he'll have to send them on to us because we got to get that done soon.
yeah, that's fair. We'll figure it all out. But anyway, stay
Yes.
tuned.
Stay tuned and make sure to check out Geek Geek this week as well. It's another one of our great potlucks. I've now committed us to doing that, whether we were going to or not. We'll see you guys later.
Man,